All right. Hello and welcome to our stretch class. So we're going to be getting going with our stretch class now. So let me get the other class going here. A stretch yoga class. And in our stretch yoga class, it is a class that's designed for all levels. So it's a multi-level class. And in this multi-level class, it can be any body size, it can be any age really, it can be really any physical fitness level that you are in, because yoga really is designed to meet you where you're at. You don't need to be taught yoga before a stretch class or to do a private lesson. You really just frankly need to show up. So as we get going here, we're going to be moving. And as we start, we're going to start on our backs. So go ahead and place your feet onto your back. And then we're going to set the feet onto the floor and then open the knees out to the side. And as the knees open out to the side, we're going to place the right hand in between the center of our chest and our left hand below the belly button in between the two hips. And then simply draw your attention to your breathing. Our attention to our breathing. Today we're going to be working with a strap, you guys. So hopefully you have that strap. You can also use, back here, please. Can you see me? Look at me in the face. Stand. A strap, a long shoestring, or a boot strap, or a robe, a strap from your robe. Hey, Olivia, I need you to. There's no one supposed to be in here. We're going to be using a strap. We're going to be using a long shoelace. You can also use a towel. A towel will work if you just take the towel around the ball of the foot. Okay, so we have a strap, we have a shoestring, we have from our robe perhaps. And now we're falling into our breath and we're simply thinking about our breathing. We're going to continue reading through Spiritual Journeys Along the Yellow Brick Road. You see, there's a part of our soul that's wild and free. An aspect of our nature that is creative, off the wall, and always looking for adventure. It seems to get us in trouble, but really this aspect of our soul is what leads us to our greatest lessons. It is the wild side that Toto represents. Dorothy and Toto are inseparable through most of the story. In fact, there is only one brief scene in the witch's castle where Toto runs for help when they are apart. Okay, so as you're here now on your backs and your hands are on your body, I'd like you to take one more deep breath in and out. At the bottom of your exhale, you're walking your feet together and then just taking another breath in. Take your right knee up to your chest and grab your knee, interlacing your fingers around the knee with your chin down. Extend your left leg long and take a couple breaths as you draw your knee out in towards your body. As you're drawing your knee in towards your body, take another 2 deep breaths and see if you can lower your chin towards the back, towards your chest and the back of your neck towards the floor a little bit more. Good. Now take another couple deep breaths here. You're holding on to the knee with just enough pressure with the fingers and the biceps so that the shoulders are relaxed and out of the pose. Now take another deep breath in, hold on to the breath. See how long you can hold it before you exhale again. So throughout the movie, Toto has one major function, and it's to rock Dorothy's world. From the get-go, when he bites Elmira Gulch, he's always getting Dorothy into a jam. On the surface, it might be easy to wonder why Toto is so important to Dorothy. But when you really think about it, he gives her life meaning by forcing her to look at life in new ways. For he is the catalyst that brings her life's lessons to surface and then keeps them fresh in her mind until they are learned. So now that you have your right knee and you're holding it in with your arms and you're holding it in with your fingers, see if you can take tiny little circles with that knee. And then you're going to grab your strap. Good. And now take the strap around the ball of the foot. And then slowly extend it to the side, right in front of your leg. Now, when you extend that leg to the side, your right knee still might be a little bit bent. If it's bent, it's okay. We're going to work towards straightening the knee. If your leg will not straighten, you stay here. Simply holding the foot with the strap or the towel, bringing the chin down towards your chest, and then trying to gently push that knee forward. Think of the back of the knee being against a wall and press that knee into your imaginary wall. Now get the spine centered, bring your chin down, and gently pull down through that foot. We're going to take now several deep breaths here, about 5. At first, it's not easy to trust that part presents, because on the surface, he seems irresponsible. There's not a lot of reason in the things he wants us to do, but he always leads us to a new adventure and a new lesson, which shapes who we are and brings us only that which is for our greater good. One example of Toto working in my life happened recently while I was in Thailand with my friend Megan. We were on a small tropical island called Koh Phi Phi in the Andaman Sea. The island is very remote and it has relatively few inhabitants. And on one morning, I felt my spirit calling me off and into the hills. I didn't know why or where I needed to go, but the pull was strong. Toto was barking. Now we're going to move into the piriformis or the outer glute here. And what we're going to do is take this right foot and move it about 1.5 inches to the left. Not a lot. If I were to look at the ankle bone, it would line up with the left hip. Imagine I want to press my right butt cheek to the floor, and I'm going to use the strap to help me. So push down into the floor with your ankle over your left hip. It's going to be very intense. If it's not, you're not in the right spot. Everybody's is thing. I haven't found one person, at least yet in my experience, that it hasn't been tight. Usually it's because we just go too far with the foot. Like Olivia, you went too far. You want to back it up right there. Yeah. And then just pull it down as you press your hip into the floor. Now it's going to be tight. What's going to happen is it's going to be intense. And then after a while, your brain is going to wander away because it starts to go away. And that's when you need to apply just a little bit more pressure back in there. So Megan preferred to stay back at the bungalow and rest. So I took off for a hike alone. The views were magnificent when I reached the top of the island. But it was not until I began my hike down the other side that I realized what Toto had in store for me. As I meandered through the thick rainforest, I came into a small clearing filled with thousands of butterflies. And it was the most enchanting thing I'd ever seen. I was stopped dead in my tracks and I closed my eyes. There were so many butterflies I could feel the gentle brush of air on my face that the hundreds of tiny wings were creating. There was nothing but silence, and I had the opportunity to experience this beautiful moment, one that could never have been created out of responsibility and logic. So for many, going on an irresponsible adventure is not in their nature. We're going to take that leg now and go ahead and move it as far to your left as you'd like. So just let that leg kind of just drop over towards the left, but don't let your right arm come up. So maybe bring your right arm to the floor so that you can use it as a gauge to see how far you want to go, and then maybe just push back into the right hip as you draw your gaze now over towards your right arm. So we're holding onto the leg. It's pretty straight. We're just giving it a nice little stretch. Not for much longer, just 1 or so more breaths. Then as we make our way back up, we're going to take the strap or the towel or whatever over to our right hand, and you might have to hold it with both, or you might be able to let go and just hold it with one. If you're very flexible, don't drop. Your left hip tends to lift here. So I want to bring that left hip down. Even if you're flexible, engage the leg and press the knee forward into it with your gaze to your left. You're going to hold this. That is your adductor, leads into your inner groin. It could be very anatomically speaking. So most of us would prefer to play it safe. We try to get a guarantee out of life. Problem is none doesn't exist. In the end, the depressing realization that life has been a boring waste of time is surely to accompany the safe path. So many that try to follow. But following Toto is the only way to really taste the spice of life, where Toto is the part of our soul that makes our life salty and keeps us humble. If you keep a dog locked away in your house, it should not surprise you when he craps all over your floor. Likewise, when we keep Toto locked behind the prison bars of false security and responsible behavior, our lives will reek of death as we rot from the inside out. Now take that leg back up to the sky, and then we're going to go into our other side. But first, it's a brief moment with both legs in the strap or the towel, pushing your knees forward, pulling down into your tailbone, and then slowly releasing this right foot. I might leave it on the floor if I'm really tight or injured, or straighten it all the way out for a deeper stretch. The leg feels like it's against a wall where I press that knee into the imaginary wall and pull straight down with the strap to push the glute down into the floor. Once there, the chin is at the chest, the shoulders are back, and elbows in. Try to remain calm here and push down harder into the strap and into the glute and into the floor to create more of a stretch for you as you're here for about 5 more breaths. Letting Toto out of run wild is scary. He is part of us, and when we let him out, it's natural to fear he will run away. But the only thing Toto exhibits in the movie to a greater extent than his insatiable sense of adventure is loyalty. His adventure is not about acting foolishly. His adventure is about trusting the wisdom of the soul. He is loyal to Dorothy and to what is for her own good, yet he doesn't feel the need to explain himself. He sees a curtain and he pulls it back. He sees a cat and he jumps to play. He is in his head. All right, now take a moment to bring that foot now 1.5 inches to your right. That's it. So that your left heel bone lines up with the right hip bone. Then push your left glute, hip down into the floor using that strap to bear down. His loyalty and his spontaneity are qualities that we would do well to cultivate in the fullest, because in many ways, he is the most important figure in the whole story. When we choose to keep Toto, part of our soul, on a short leash, we limit our lives. This may or may not succeed in bringing us the illusion of security, but it will never bring us fulfillment. Evolution outside the comfortable and the known. And people who will really change the world are the ones who seek a new way of looking at things and then go beyond what is familiar. In short, people who evolve personally and in turn help their communities to evolve are the ones who have the courage to let Toto off his leash and to trust him enough to follow where it leads. As you take your last couple moments, you may want to try to actively press the hip back down. I can't say walk around the room when I'm teaching and I begin to just guide the left butt cheek down. Like I grab the leg and I just pull it down to the floor. If you do that yourself, you'll feel how tight it is in there. Now feel free to bring that left arm out to the side and then drop over to the side. Your gaze should follow it and the shoulder should be down onto the floor here as you experiment with a pair of points. You're only here for about 3 breaths, pushing into the strap, 2. Now slowly make your way back up, switch hands or grab them with both hands and hold on, or take it all the way into the left arm as you drop your leg over, engaging the back of the knee as well, and pressing into the strap with your gaze to your right arm. Again, we're not here super long, so we'll hear you about 4 breaths. Notice your spine as it drops over to the left and see if you can bring it back down into the earth. Feel the right shoulder get grounded. Feel your left leg get more engaged. Take another deep breath in. As you slowly make your way back up, we'll take both legs back into the strap one final time. This time they should feel a bit more even as you press through the heels. Press with the knees like you're pushing right into a wall here, and we'll take one more breath. As we exhale, bend the knees. Take your strap. I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers a bunch of times, and then bring it back behind my head. Once it's back behind my head, the feet are on the floor, lift your chin. We're going to exhale and squeeze the belly. That's it. Inhale and lower your shoulders. Exhale, lift and squeeze your belly, and inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and hold. Now little tiny pulses. Lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold your lift, bring your knees up. Now lower to the floor and tap the floor with your toes. Exhale, come up. 10, tap the floor. Exhale and lift. 9, squeeze your belly. Exhale, lift and squeeze the belly. 8. Good. Keep your head and neck really falling back into the hands and into the strap. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Something clicks every time you do that. And 1. Now hold your upper body up and just tap your toes for your final 10. Lift the tail. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the strap up, grab the knees, and pull into your chest. Take 2 more breaths here. All right. Now slowly release and place your feet onto the floor. With your feet onto the floor, lift your hips up to the sky. With your hips up to the sky, walk your shoulder blades in and draw your knees in and your toes in just a smidge. This is called bridge pose. From bridge pose, your chin is at your chest. You should not be able to see your knees, although you might. You're just trying to get rid of that view by lifting your hips even higher. We're here for 4 more breaths. You should be able to feel your heels, although that doesn't always happen. We do want the feet flat against the floor, though that is important, and then gently push through the elbows. If you can't get them down, then you just get as close as you can. That's the best we can ask for. And then gently push them back up. We'll do that 4 times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold your lift. Place your left foot on top of your right thigh. And then lift your leg to the sky. Now we're going to lower our butt and our heel right to the floor. So all the way down, relax. Now push it straight up. 5 rolls. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it up on 1. Now just the heel to the floor. 5, 4, lift. 3, lift. 2, lift. Last one, hold it up. Now just the butt to the floor. This is our last one. 5, lift. 4, lift. 3, lift. 2, lift. Listen up. 1, set the left foot onto the floor. Put the right foot on the left foot. Hurry. Pull your big toe towards you and drop the knee. Now, once the knee is dropped, lift your hips up. We're going to let all that out of that hip joint. So there's a lot of energy in that glute that's coming up and out of that hip joint. Stay here for 3 more seconds. Stay calm. 2. Now lower your hips and bring your left knee up. Figure 4. It's going to be tight. Your neck is probably going to bend. So bring your chin down and start by grabbing the hamstring. Maybe you can advance to the shin bone. Maybe you can push the knee away. Take 5 breaths. So the glute being weak is a huge problem in the body. The problem also is that you don't know it. You don't know if the glute's weak or imbalanced from their body, or if it's tight. And it could present in hamstrings being tight or short, lower back pulling, hips hurting. So we don't know until we dive in there. If that was hard, it's probably what's happening. Let's release slowly. I'm just going to keep pushing that knee away for a moment. Then release the foot to the straighten the left leg out. And then bring your right knee back to your chest for wind removing one more time. Just draw the elbows in, move your chin down, and work beneath the armpit. It should feel a lot better to be in this second. Now slide the knee out to the side. Place your left hand on your left hip or left thigh and gently keep that left thigh down. Just drawing that knee out to the side. Pull the knee back into the center, up towards your chest, and back out to the side one more time. Bring it back to the center and hold it. Bring the other knee to the center and bring both knees into your chest. Whew. Now, if you want to go deeper, reach the fist. If your wrist, grab the forearms or elbows when you're moving. Stay here with the chin down and take 3 more breaths. All right, now the feet are about hip width apart, so I can feel that the toes are slightly in. Bridge pose, exhale breath. Lift your hips up. Walk the shoulder blades down, get into position, and then just fall. And it's not like very heavy, so I'm just softly holding onto it, and the hips have lifted. The shoulders are back, and we're just returning to the breath. Take one more breath. And you lower your hips, take a breath in. Okay, now we're gonna lift all the way up big and place the right foot onto the left thigh. So all the way up, right foot is on the left thigh. If you push your foot into the thigh, the hips will lift higher, and then we can try to lift that leg up. Now we're gonna lower the heel and the glute to the floor and all the way up. 1. We're gonna do that 5 times, so down and up. 2. All the way down and up. 3. 4. And 5. Now just the heel. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Hold it up, just the bump. 5. Press. 4. Come on, hamstring. Press. 3. Press. 2. Press. And 1. Press. Right foot onto the floor, left foot up, cross it over, and lift your hips. So it's a bridge figure 4. It's got a lot of stuff happening. So just breathe if you can for 3. You push that hip up 2. Now slowly lower your hips. You can stay here or lift the right knee up. You can stay here or bring your chin down, grab the hamstring. You can stay here or grab the shin bone, push the knee away. Relax the feet. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Release the foot, push the left knee away again. Now place the left knee up, so the foot's up the foot again. Grab the knee, switch the fingers, and straighten the right leg out. Draw the knee back to the armpit, elbows in, chin down, and breathe. 5. 4. 3. 2. Now bring both knees to your chest one final time. And see if you could reach around and grab opposite elbows, forearms, or wrist. Chin is at the chest, neck is down, shoulders, lower spine. From here, we're going to rock and roll up to a seat. As you release the tension, come on up. Now, as you get up to a comfortable seat, we're simply going to cross our legs and move into a tabletop position. So from tabletop, we're going to go to our belly. So as you come on back from table, hands and knees, slide your legs all the way back and come down onto your belly. When you get down onto your belly, line your hands up right next to your chest. So the tip of the shoulder lines up with the top of your hand. So you feel up your shoulder and the tip of your fingers line up. And the elbows are in tight. This is called cobra, it's a baby cobra. So with the hands close to the body, squeeze your legs together. As your legs are squeezing together tight, press the feet and the hips into the floor so that the knees come up. Now on the inhale breath, pull your chest up off the floor all the way to your ribs if you can, all the way to your belly button. Squeeze the bum, push the hips down, and then press the feet down. From here, your fingers or hands are very light. Holding for 3. Hold for 2. And then 1, come down. Now, when you come down, I'm going to move my stuff out of the way here so you can see. So pardon me. All right, so we're going to bring our hands up so that the elbow is on the ground in line with the shoulder. So my elbow and shoulder, same line. Elbow and shoulder, same line. Open the feet about hip width or wider. Prone reverse fly. Squeeze your bum, your glutes. Bones into the floor and your pubic bone. Lift both elbows off the floor so that the arms feel they're more lined up with the neck. On the inhale, lift all the way up as one unit from your belly to your head, and then come all the way down. Again, hips to head, all the way up, 1 unit squeeze, and inhale, come down, or exhale, come down. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, down. 5 more. Inhale, up, 5. 4. Higher. 3. 2. Now when you get up, hold your next one up. Bring your arms straight out to a T and lift your legs off the floor. Locust. Reach the arms, reach the legs, shoulders back from the ears, crown of your head together. Now bend the right knee, set the left foot down, grab the foot or ankle, bend the left knee, grab the foot or ankle, bring the knees close together. Exhale into floor, lift your heart, kick your feet into your hands. Hold for 4. Kick and hold for 3. Hold for 2. Now as you release on 1, pause. Place the hands next to the chest and press up to your table. I'm going to turn to face you guys. You can turn to face me. It won't matter so much. You just want to be on your mat. If you get in trouble on this one, and you'll know what I mean, and it's not that it's a hard pose at all. Anybody can do it. It's just difficult because the hips might be still not very open. And if the hips aren't open, then the weight ends up being on the inner knee. And if your hips are open, it's not on the inner knee. So first and foremost, I come up. You're there. Let me go to the side so you can see. My knees are directly under my hips. So when I open the knees, I keep my feet together and I just slide them apart, okay? So I don't want my hips to go forward or back. I just want my knees to go wide, 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 as far as you can go down. That's it. Now, if you're close to the ground, go ahead and come down to your elbows. Good. Now move your hips forward and back. See how they move? Can you get them right between your knees? Right between your knees. Now take one foot and extend it out so your ankle bone is down, but your ankle bone and your knee bone are lined up. Then take the other leg and do the same thing. So it looks kind of like the shoulders that we did when we lifted, but it's now the hips. So this is prone frog. So oftentimes I see people lunge forward and then come down to the mat. Don't do that. Stay with your hips here. Try to keep them off the floor. I suggest you stack your fist or place something under it or keep your shoulders neck neutral. If there's a lot of pressure on the inner knee, then you would place something under it, like a towel or a blanket, like a blanket from the couch type of situation, you know, one of those, a little blanket, like a throw blanket, and just a pad underneath there. It can be anything, a shirt, anything, a piece of clothing. Now, as you get here, you might even stack your forearms and place your forehead on your top forearm. But whatever position you can get to, see if you can't close your eyes now and just be here in this space. It's a very deep hip opener, as you can see, and no quick movements to get out of this one either. The Good Witch of the North represents the spirit of guidance that leads the soul along its journey. She is the principle in nature that inspires trees to blossom in the spring and reminds birds that it's time to fly south in the winter. She is the force present in our own bodies that heals broken bones and regulates the cycle of growth, maturity, and reproduction. It's easy to ignore her. It's even easier to take her for granted. But she is ever present. We can deny, desecrate, and defame her, but she will not go away. For many years, the common religious belief was that spirit and nature were somehow separate, but mystics and shamans have known this to be a great falsehood. The same spirit that tells a mustard seed to grow into a great tree is the same spirit that can navigate our lives, steering us around the many pitfalls that we encounter along our spiritual journey. Many people combine the words soul and spirit, seeing them as synonymous, but doing this blurs some very important truths. While the spirit is an the higher mind, the Buddha, or the Christ mind. It is the element of our soul, that the aspect of our nature that knows of us, but also it's Kansas. And the beauty about Witch is that she is always there when Dorothy needs her. Though Dorothy is rarely aware of it, she inspires Dorothy in subtle ways and gently wakes her from her dream of Oz. She is there beginning to greet Dorothy, and she is there at the end to see her off. In a sense, she never left Dorothy's side. All right, friends, as you make your way back, the most important thing to come out of this, because you might have noticed your body's kind of inching down, it could be a bit uncomfortable, is to come out of it very, very slowly. So I'm just going to rock my hips forward until I can put weight into my hands. Then I'm going to rock them more forward until I can pull my knees in. That's it. I'm just going to walk my knees in and come back into tabletop. If you have turned your body in any way, turn back towards the top of the mat, tabletop. Good. Walk your knees forward, cross your ankles behind you. All right, now you're going to scoot your tail all. This is called plow. It's not a difficult pose. It looks difficult. It's actually not. It's for posture that's for between the scapula. And a lot of people know that if you have a bad neck and you're scared, don't do it. You can always test the waters. Leg up the wall will hold you. I want you just to imagine you're holding up the wall. You can use your straps. If you're going into plow, you're going to bring your toes and knees over your face. Press into the ground with your hands until your hips pop up and your knees are somewhere over your forehead area. The arms are pressing into the floor, and the toes should be on the floor. So if the toes are not on the floor of your head, then your hands should be supporting your back. We're going to be here for about 5 breaths. Back slowly. It's called dead bug. It's also called happy baby. So you're on your tail. We're going to bend our knees with our feet together. And then you can just grab your knees, or you can grab the hamstrings. If you can go to happy baby, you'll grab the arches of the feet and flip them up to the sky. So the feet are stamping the ceiling with the chin down. Relax the shoulder down and bring weight in towards your back and your hips. Now let's just start returning to our breath. Softening the elbows to bear down a little bit more into the tail. And as you take your final breath now, bring your feet together. And from here, we take our final 5 breaths in double windward moving. You can grab your knees, your hamstrings, all the way up to grabbing the forearms, the wrist, or even the elbows in final position. With everything flat now, hold here. Bring your forward to your knees. Bring your knees to your 3. Just a bit harder for 2. And as we exhale, we're going to release our feet to the floor in 1. Good. Now from here, straighten your legs all the way out. Let your toes fall out and flip your palms out. Bring your chin down to your chest and start to get comfortable. See if you can close your eyes. As you close your eyes, draw your attention simply to the task of your breath. Sink out even deeper. And notice your breathing. Notice the breath as it moves through your body. The fingers as they slowly begin to push together. Notice the toes as they wiggle around in place. And then let the rest begin to roll. Let the body awakening. As you slowly bend the knees one at a time, draw the knees to your heart. And as your knees come up, draw the knees wide. And for a couple moments, gently roll side to side. Allow your heart to meet your thumbs. Feel your heart moving forward. Let your shoulders melt back. And let us take it in. Take a deep breath in. At the bottom of the exhale, lift the thumbs, place them between the eyebrows or forehead area, Onja, the seating of growth. Together now we take our next breath. May we continue our inquiry and growth into our enlightened path. And as we exhale humbly to earth, may compassion show us the way. From my heart to yours, namaste. Hey, namaste, friends at home. Thank you so much for joining us today in our live stream. I will be announcing the classes just moving forward. I'm just going to announce them on the internet. We will no longer be having the doors open at all. The doors will not be open. So everything will be home. And so I'll just be recording a bunch of classes as I go and as I'm able to do them. And we'll continue to add into the library now. So I know as of this class today, we have like 20 classes in there. So please be free to continue to enjoy them. And I want to thank you guys so much for coming. The next stretch class, we're going to continue on our reading. The reading was from Spiritual Journeys Along the Yellow Brick Road, and the author is Darren Main. Really good read if you want to grab it and jump ahead, or a lot of you I know have it because you've read it with me in different times. So feel free to grab your book and read along with us. Other than that, I just want to say be safe, enjoy your family, look for the hidden blessings that are offered all around us right now, and seek those things out. And I think if we just, keep our spirits together, I think we're going to be just fine. I have no doubt whatsoever. So thank you guys for joining us on the live stream. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Lisa, for coming in, and whoever else joined us. And please leave us a comment so I know that you're here. And if you'd like to leave me any comments on what muscles or body parts you want to work for our next stretch class, that would be lovely too. It would give me some inspiration on what to do here. And then also maybe let me know, do you guys have props at home? Do you have blocks? Do you have straps? What do you have? Because that really will help to dictate the type of classes that I design and flow from there on out. So anyway, I want to say thank you very, very much. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I will say hi to Tinkerbell and Nugget. They wanted to stay home again today. They're totally lazy. I think it's because you guys aren't here and they miss seeing you guys. So like, my girlfriend's even there. So as always, I love you guys. Super, super glad that you could all join us in for this. And then look, here's Olivia. She was speaking in the back here. Say hi, Olivia. Say hi to everybody at home. Hi. She's like, I don't want to say hi to everybody. Okay, anyway, and if you want to know anything about the bowls, or if you have any specific questions about nutrition or anything like that, hey, let me know, because I want to help you out on that. All right, you guys, have a great day. Bye. Thank you so much. Have a great day, you guys.